Hey y'all, hope everyone's doing all right. We're on to ZLS number 13. It's an unlucky number, but hopefully nothing unlucky will happen today. Let me close out some of our windows from yesterday. I started already working on a markdown file for today. We can look at what we did yesterday here real quick. Between streams, I fixed imports exports for a Cypress test. That was with the seeding stuff. We added a test for an issue we saw with logging in and logging out as a friended user and then logging in as an unfriended user. We saw originally we were seeing posts from non-friends, which we wouldn't have seen, so we added a test for that and fixed it. We also had a fix over here where let me make this a little bit bigger. Trying a new layout here. Hopefully everyone can still see all right. But we had an issue where if we had a user that had friends logged out and then logged back in, we could still see people that they weren't supposed to be friends with in their friends list. We could also see posts in the post thing. So we figured out how to get rid of that. It was really just NGRX hanging on to those things when we should have been clearing them out. So that's what we did yesterday. For today, I think that we have one more issue with our stuff, and that's that if we log in and refresh the browser, our access token should still be there. We should still be able to log in and do everything we need to do. But I don't think we are. I think we just kind of show the login screen, and that's not what should happen. So we'll add a test for that and make it pass. And then we're going to try to implement requesting adding a new friend. So if we think about our test, let me bring up our little seed here, our little seed script. We had this user. This is like us. We had a friend and we had a non-friend. I think I'm going to use the same seed, but I'm going to make it so first this user will log in and they'll see this test friend in their friends list, but they'll also see in like this, what did I call it? Like the add a friends, find friends, find fiends. That's not right. Let me fix that. Find friends. So we're going to create a new find friends in our front end app. And the idea is we'd see in this list people that we're not friends with yet. So we'll show that and we'll let a user kind of request to add them as a friend. So I'll do that and we'll kind of set this test up. So we'll log into this user, find our non-friend here in the find a friend list and click a button to add them as a friend. We should then see them like disappear from that. Maybe go into like a pending state. I don't know. Might not get too crazy with it right now. Maybe just disappear from the list. And then we'll log out from this one user and switch to this other user, log in as them, and they should see the request come in. And they should be able to hit accept, and then they should see that friend in their friends list. And they should also see their content posts after that. So let's see if we can get all this done. So let's start with this one right here. I've already stubbed out some tests for this, but let's take a look. Let's take a look at what this one looks like. So let's go to our app.spec file. And while this, before we get too far, I am going to, I'm going to start up our ETE in watch mode again. So let's see. Let's do that while this is running. And let me make this a little smaller. Hopefully y'all can still see well. Let me make it a little bigger. All right, that looks good. Oops. I have some other stuff going. Let me see. I've been looking at doing like an example app with NGRX 10 because I'm really excited about some of the stuff there. In fact, if we have some extra time, I might try to upgrade to NGRX 10 on stream here if we can get through all this other stuff. But I think I'm running something on localhost 4200. So let's try that again. Cool. So while that's running, so here's sort of our test. I think we could probably rename this. So this is login, and so this is really login and then refresh our browser. So first we'll run the same seeding test we did before. Visit the home page. We should get the greeting of our circle. That's kind of the H1 tag right there. We had logging into the user. That's going to be the same. As soon as this finishes up, I'm going to try to switch screens so I can get Cypress on the other one. Yeah, let's do this. Cypress should be landing. Where did it go? There it is. Cool. So this is starting up. Well, that's working. We'll come back to here. All right. So we're visiting our site. We're logging into our user. We're asserting that we only have access to our friends. So this is kind of the same setup as before. We're going to add a post. So this is just going to add a post in there. And then we're just going to call sci.reload, which is going to refresh the browser tab. Then we should make sure that we're still logged in and all of our stuff is still here, including that new post that came in. So let's see. I think if we go through here and rerun this, we should see that test actually fail right now. Let's see how it fails. Tests are loading. So this is the first test we wrote. That should pass. Second test, this one should pass. This is like signing in and out to everyone. That one passed. All right, now added the thing, and now we fail. So we're doing like I had thought. We're showing sort of the login screen here. When really, if we look at, I think we can see this here. If we inspect and go to the app tab, and we go to our local storage, yeah, we still have that access token. So there's no reason why we should be asking the user to log in again. We should be able to just verify them. So yeah, let's jump in here, and let's go into the. So this is really client-side stuff. I think we're going to want to do something on like app init. We're going to check the check for that access token. If we have that access token, we're just going to want to go out and hit those API things like we have been. So let's see. Let's go to auth effects. Let's see what's happening for login. Come in going like this. Log out. Blah blah blah. All right. I think we'll probably need to do like a new, maybe even a new endpoint. Let's see, what do we got on the service? We have the login, we have the logout, we have a bunch of different ways to check access tokens or remove them. Let's try just like, let's just call this get user. This should be an observable of a user. And user, this should return this .http client get, it should give us a user. So not like user. What did just login give us? Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. So we'll say, and we'll try to hit /API/auth/user. Cool. Let's go to our backend auth. Well, let's go to the router for backend auth here. So we'll have a new down here. Let's call this router.get, and we'll call this /user. We'll add the authorize, and we'll have here get user, and we'll still have to make this get user. So let's make this, we'll call this get user.ts, and here we'll export const get user, which is a request handler. Have a request coming in and a response. So this will say constant user equals request as any dot user as Mongo user. So and as long as that's there, we'll just hit res.send user. Yeah, let's do it like that. So let's do actually like this. Let's say if user, well, no, that should never, if there is no user, the middleware should fail it. So this should be safe, I think. So we'll say like that, and then coming back to the router, back to that router, we'll just import this, save it, sort those, save it again. All right, so now we should have our get user endpoint kind of set up and our auth services set up to hit it. Let's take a look at our auth effects here really quick. I think all we'll want to do is we'll just create an effect here that says get user on app on, well, really it's on auth in it. Equals create effect. So this is an effect we're just going to want to happen once when the effect starts up. So I'll say of empty object, doesn't really matter. So we're just going to pipe it of blank dot pipe. Let's do it like this so we can get better. Okay, so we're going to pipe whatever comes through this empty object to, let's see, do we want to, I think we'll switch map this. So it doesn't matter what comes in, and we'll say if, well, let's say this dot auth service dot get access token. Actually, let's just filter on this one. Filter. So we'll only continue this. There. We'll only continue this if we do have an access token. So if we don't, well, we won't do anything. If we do have an access token, we're going to switch map it. Doesn't matter what that access token is. We're going to map it over to this dot auth service dot get user, and then we may need a new action for this. Let's see. Kind of want to do like the same as if login succeeded. So we'll want to mark it as like well, it's going to be a similar event. Let's make a new action. So we'll go to auth actions. Here we'll go export const initialized with new user. Say create action. This will be really the auth API. Let me just do it like this. The auth API is going to say initialized with user. Let's just do like so. And we'll say props. Our user is going to be the user. Yeah. Boom. All right. So we have our action here. On this one, we're going to, well, let's do it like this. Inside of here, let's pipe this. Map. So we're going to take a user. If we get it, it's going to go to this new action. Initialize. Let's see, this should be a user, right? Yes. I would have thought this would have just come in. Let's just import this manually though. Save. Initialized with user. With the user. Boom. Okay. And do we need to catch error? I don't think we really need to catch an error. If we error out, this is kind of fine. We'll leave that like that for now. Probably we should be doing something with catching the error, but for now this will work. We'll get the user on authnet. So now I'm going to copy this initialized with user because we're going to want to bring it into some of our other effects here. So our content posts, I believe we'll want to add this in here. Looking at their effects, pretty much anywhere we had the login succeeded, where that spawns something, we're going to add in our initialized with user. There we go. And let's see, on our friends effects, we're going to want to add that too. I guess this is called user effects still. Okay, so on login succeeded or on initialized with user. There we go. Let me clear out some unused imports there. And I think that may solve the problem. Let's see. Oh, this caused some other issues. Let's see. On reload, what happened on reload? Yeah, this is definitely not right. Let me just hit refresh. Let's see if we can see it happen again. This is where it might be nice. I think we can focus some tests on Cypress. Maybe we can do that. Okay, so things still aren't happening quite right. I think it's because we still need to look at our auth reducer and add some things in there, right? So login succeeded. Yeah, we're going to want to do something very similar to this. But it's going to have to look a little different. Let's just copy, duplicate that line. Initialized with user. We don't need to. Well, I need to destructure it. I think. Let's try it. I think this would work, right? So this one. What does this look like? It has a user. It's a user. This one has. Okay, that should work. They're the same type, pretty much. All right, let's check this to see if it works. Let's actually go to our app spec and let's focus this one. Is that going to work for us? Let's see. Oh, fit is not defined. I wonder if maybe focusing isn't allowed here. That's okay. Let's see. Let's actually just comment these ones out then. There, that'll get us what we want. All right, let's try it. Setting the database, logging in, making a post. Here's the moment of truth. Hey, there you go. So we opened up. Let's actually try that on. Let me get a new browser window in here. Go. And so I'm going to go to localhost 4200. And let's just try logging in with, what was that user? I have to get it from that seed file. Username, the password was test password. Paste. So this was test password. All right, logged in. And now if I just refresh, all right, so I saw it kind of blink there. I think that's mainly okay. Might want to do like some loading animation there later. But for now, I think that's good. Let me go ahead and X this out. Cool. So we're passing that test. Let me go ahead and uncomment the rest of this. And we can mark this off. Let's go to the markdown file, 13th already. This month is going by quick. Done. Okay. So next we want to request adding a new friend. So let's look at the let's look at this for a second. Let's see. Let's start out. Start out with just sort of the same assertion stuff. Then we'll kind of deviate from it. Right, and eventually I'll want to make these functions, just make this a little drier. I know there's some opinions out there about tests not having to be dry, but some of this stuff, it would be nice to just pass in. Well, I think there's Cypress commands for this too. Yeah, okay, so we assert they only have access to friends. Now let's say assert we can see non-friend in, so what did we call this? Our find friend component. So we'll say sci dot get, and we'll call this find friend. Actually, this is going to be like our circle dash find friend. Dot contains test non friend. There we go. And we'll say sci dot get. It could be. So this is going to be a button. Maybe we can do it like this. We'll say. So this is like a CSS selector. E2E tag equals request add friend, like so, dot click, and then we should see sci.get, so somewhere in this find friend component. I'm imagining this find friend component has like two sections. One is like people you could potentially ask for friends, and the other would be something like pending or test non-friend pending, something like that. I don't know. We'll have to. This will probably change as we actually do it. But the idea is we're going to have our find friend component. We're going to click on some button by it that says add our test non-friend, and then we should see this kind of go into a test non-friend pending status. Then let's grab some code from up here. We're going to want to log out and log back in. We kind of did that up here. Let's see if we can actually just grab it from our non-friend user. Ooh, this is actually bad comment. There we go. Boom. Log in and back in. Log out and back in as our non-friend user. So somewhere on their screen, they should see, we can see friend request. So let's say sci.get and something like, I don't know, e2e tag equals request list dot contains the name of our test user. I think we just call it test user. Let's see, what was their name? Name is test name. Yep, contains test name. And sci.get call it e2e tag equals confirm friend dot click. So we'll get like a confirm friend button and we'll click it, and then we should, let's see, so we can see friend request and click to add friend. At this point we should be able to see several things. So let's go up here and grab lots of this stuff. Assert we can see test user in our friend list and their content posts. Right, so we'll say should contain test user. Our circle friend list should not contain, well, it shouldn't contain still the test friend because we still never friended that, so we'll just add that in. I don't think we really need that, but it's fine. So we should see, this should be visible. We should not see, so let's add this. We should not contain, this should also be visible. It should contain, so it's contains, should be visible. It should contain this post was added at our tests, right? We added that one. Access to friends. Let's make sure we do that just to make sure. So we find, yeah, let's make sure our user is actually adding a post so that we can assert we see it in this test. So logging into test user, asserting only has access to friends, and then adding a post. Find component. Find friend. There we go. Let's make this camel case, or not camel case, kebab case. Go. I think this looks good. Let's save. Let's actually go up and we'll comment out all the rest of our tests. Go. All right, so let's see. In terms of what actually happened here, we were able to get as far as we thought. Expected pre to not contain, this should not be visible. Let's see, what's that about? Oh, that did pass, I'm sorry. This post was added during our test. We made sure that happened. But we're not even seeing the find friends component yet. So let's go ahead and start with that. We'll make that. So we'll just go in here. We'll generate a new component. Did that not work? What's going on? Oh, there it is. We'll say component. And things are running slow today. So we're going to say the name of our component is going to be, let's say this is, we said it was what, find friends? And the name of the project is front end friends. There we go. Declaring, let's make this SCSS default. Might want to change this to on push later. Let's make it export because we're just going to want to put it at the bottom of our app component for now. Eventually I'll want to put in some proper routing in here, but we'll get to that when we get to it. That looks good. So let's hit run. We should see our new stuff over here. Cool. So we can see our find friends component is there. Let's go ahead and just add this into now our app component. Sure is for the, I want the HTML file for the RCircle one. Cool. So this should all be within logged in here still, and we'll just put it right underneath our friends list. So we'll call this RCircle find friends. Let's hit save there, and looks like I think this end-to-end test is still failing. Let's see if we can. I think that's just because I gave it the wrong selector, right? Let's see if I can find that. Yeah, I call it find friend. We want find friends. Let's open up the app spec over here and go to the bottom. Find friends. All right, so we should make it past this step. We should not make it past this step. So we got a half step further. That's fine. Let's make sure we're at least getting that. Okay. Timed out retrying within the element, but never did. Okay, so we can see our find friends is here. It's useless right now. Okay, we at least got the component. That's all right. Let's look at for now, let's just do it like this. We're going to want to add a service to our friend front end. Let's start there. Front end, I don't want auth, I want friends. And friend service. So we already have our friend service. We have our get friends, and let's say get find friends is an observable of user array. This will just return this .http client .get and user array, and the endpoint is API/find friends. There you go. That looks good. Let's add. Let's see. Let's look at our user effects here real quick. I think we're going to want to touch the effects here. So we're just going to reuse this one, but this is going to spawn a separate call. Or maybe we can just. I wonder if we can just. If we're getting friends, maybe instead of just returning friends, we could say something like this. We say friends is a user array findable friends is a user array like so, and let's actually make this an interface. For now we'll just stick it up here. Really it needs to belong in some sort of utility thing, but we'll say export interface. So this is going to be the get friends response body. And paste it in there. So we'll just want to get that, our get friends response body. Copy Yeah, let's do it this way. This way makes more sense. No sense making multiple API calls, I don't think. So this way we'll also need something like this. So friends here and findable friends is a user array. Save that, and then in our effects, so we want to destructure this out to our friends and our findable friends, comma, findable friends, like so. Boom. That looks good. Let's look at our reducer here. We might need to do some fancy stuff in the reducer, I think. And it might need to start with the adapter. Let's take a look at that. It's taken a long time. Okay. So initial user state. Energy adapter. Entity state. So I'm going to want to do this. I'm going to want to change our users around slightly though, because I want to show an array of friends so we can distinguish them from our non-friends. Because I still want to like dump everyone into this users thing, I think. How are we going to do that? Get initial state. How do we add like the additional fields to the entity thing? Let's see. Let's bring up that. Where'd that reducer go? Let's open user reducer. There we go. Create reducer. Entity state of user. Let me look at the, let's pull up the NGRX docs. Docs are great. Let's bring it over here and just take a look, see what's going on. I'm blanking on how we would do this right now, but we want to go to NGRX entity. Let's look at the overview. It might be the interfaces. Let's look at that. Entity state of V. Okay. How do I extend it? Okay. Extends entity state. Okay, so that's where our additional stuff is going to be. Okay, that makes sense. Let me just grab like this. So copy that. And so we'll want to say create the entity adapter for that, and we'll say export interface user state extends entity state of user, and instead of this, we don't really care about the selected user ID. I mean, maybe we could do something here with like the actual user, but for now, we want to say friends IDs, and we'll just say, let's make this a dictionary of booleans. There we go. So the idea is this is a dictionary indexed by the user ID. Every user in here we're going to also append to our friend IDs and give them either a boolean, a true if they are a friend, or a false if they're not a friend yet. So let's take a look at that. We're going to have to adjust this slightly on retrieve friend succeeded. So we're going to have, first of all, we're going to have our friends and our findable friends. That's maybe a bad name because they're not really friends yet. But let's say, so this is equal to, we're going to want to spread on that, and then friend IDs Let's add some formatting of our own here so I can think about this better. So friend IDs, let's say, so we're going to want to upsert many, concat that to our findable friends. Right, and our friend IDs is going to be equal to, well, it's going to be equal to what we had before, state dot, let's do like this, return what does it not like about this so much? There we go. Space there. State.friend IDs. We're going to want to spread that. We want to add some more under here. It's not liking this because I think somehow this is thinking where oh, it's because of the initial state. Okay. So this is wrong. This needs to be user state. That will fail now, of course, because we want to say let's get initial state. Oh, maybe can we just add this, the rest of it as arguments? Let's see. Overload. State. Okay, yeah. So this will be the extra stuff. So we'll say friend IDs. It's just an empty array here. All right. I think that fixed stuff. All right. So we're going to want to do some fancy stuff in here. Let's actually break this out into a couple lines. So we'll say constant friend IDs equals, start by taking a copy of our, start by spreading the current state of it, and then we're going to say like object dot values of our friends dot map that. So here we have a user dot ID, and then we'll just put in here for each user ID. We'll say friend IDs user ID equals true. There we go. So the idea is for each one of the friends we get back, we're going to take our friend IDs and mark them as a true. We're going to do something very similar for our non-friends. So for our findable friends, we're going to map them to their user ID too, but right here at the end we're going to mark them as false. Hey there, last Rafta. I hope I'm saying that right. Hope you're doing well. I guess this, I'm just seeing your message. That was a long time ago. Jeez, I'm sorry. I got caught up in my code. If you're still listening, hi. Hope you're doing well. All right. So here we're looking at this. So we got our friend IDs. And yeah, so we can just kind of erase this now because we're already doing all that work up there. So our entity parts, like our IDs and our friend dictionary, will be returned just from the adapter upsert many. The friend IDs is being built here, so it's a dictionary where we're saying for each user ID they're either true or false for every user that we're sticking into the thing. So this will be good. I think now we should be able to tell our friends from our non-friends. So let's first go to our friend list because we're going to want to fix some stuff here. I think this will just have to go in the selector. So let's go to select friends. And let's add, so we have our selectors here. We're going to say export const, select friends, friend IDs, let's just do it that way, equals create selector with users state, and then we just say user state well, let's just say state dot friends. I think we never. There you go. Let's import that. State dot. Oh, it doesn't like this. It should just be up a file. Copy this adapters actually. Okay, there we go. We're going to take state.friend IDs. There we go. So this will give us that dictionary. So when we select friends, we're actually going to want to select all users. We're going to want to select in the logged in user. We're going to want to select our friend IDs. And then here's friend IDs. So we're already filtering out the user. Let's add another filter here. User friend IDs user.id is equal to true. Well, we can I guess that's kind of silly. There you go. Double bang. Just to show that this should be true or false. Okay. I think that gets us to a good point. So now our select friends is still working properly. Let's do another one here. Const select findable friends. I'm just going to stick with this names for now. We're going to do, it's the same exact thing really, only we're going to remove one of the bangs here. So in this one we want to find people who are friends. For our findable friends we want to only select those that aren't friends. So let's see, I think we should be getting a step further. Oh wait, we're not using this yet. Let's go to our find friends here. Find friends component. Let's move this over here. Let's inject store is the store. Store. You get rid of on init, I'm pretty sure. There we go. And we're going to want to say here our findable friends is going to be an observable of user array. Let's get that imported. There we go. And this is going to be equal to this dot store dot pipe. We're going to want to select, and we're going to want to select findable friends. That selector we just made. That should get us there. All right. So now we're over here. Okay. So like I said, we want kind of two sections here. Yeah, for now, let's just think. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. We're just working on the next step is getting our findable friends. So let's say right here, I don't know, H3 maybe? We'll change this later. People here's some new friends you could make. There we go. And then we'll have like an unordered list with list items, and we'll add an ng4 here. Let's actually do this. We'll say ng container and put in the ngif here. So we'll say if findable friends pipe async as findable friends, and use this container around all this. So then inside of our for here, we'll say let findable friend of findable friends, plural. And inside of this, we'll have that findable friend dot name, and we'll also throw in here a button. And I think we said this would be ete tag with what did we call this? Let's look at our end-to-end spec up here. Let's grab this right here like so we can make sure it matches. Go. Just say request add friend. There we go. Okay, let's see how far we get with this when the test gets run. Find friends works. Let's hit refresh. I think maybe we didn't rerun it. All right, so we're signing in. It says here's some new friends you could make. I think we're not doing some stuff from the API yet, so still failing this, but this tells us where we're at least. Let me fix that typo. Okay, so let's go back to the API now, and we'll go to our get friends request handler. So right now we are attaching our get friends via our middleware. So that's already on our request context. Let's see. Let's get rid of some of these console logs, because they're not really needed. I think what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to run a Mongo query here, where we're going to want to send over our array of friends, but we're also going to want to send over our array of findable friends. So we already know who our friends are. So we need to, I think we need to just get a bunch of like knots into our query. I think that makes sense. So let's make first an array of friend IDs is equal to friends, map this to their user ID. And we're going to import Mongo collection users. Let's type this with Mongo users. Oh, Mongo users. That's not right. There you go. Mongo user. Collection of Mongo user. We're going to want to find, and our query will be, I think it's like going to be an and with a bunch of nuts. No, I think we're going to want to change the way this is. I think I'm thinking about this wrong. I think we need actually, so we don't need the users collection. We need the friends. Say Mongo friendship. So let's remember how this looks. So there's a requester, a requestee, and an accepted. So eventually we're going to want to return here our non-friends. So non-friends would be where no relationship exists between the requester and the requestee at all. So that would be like findable friends. And then we'd also have like pending friends, which would be places where the user is the requestee, and the accepted is false. Let's do that one, because at least I know how to do that. I'm kind of blanking on how we do the other one. I think it'd be kind of a more complex query. Maybe I'm just thinking about it wrong. But so we got our friend IDs. I don't even know if we need this. Let's comment this out for now. So we're going to find, let's get our user here. Constant user is request as any dot user as Mongo user. So this user was added to the request context from our other middleware, our authorized middleware. So this should all be set. So really, let's say this is constant friend requests equals find where let's put an and. So the and is the requestee is equal to the user.id, and the other piece is accepted should be false. All right, so that's for friend requests. So we're going to want to send friends is equal to friends.map, all this. We're going to want to send our friend requests, which is equal to, well, we're going to want to take these friend requests, and we're going to make, this is still the relationship. So let's call toArray here. Let's await that. Right, and now our friend request is equal to an array of these relationships. So we're going to want to take those relationships and turn them into users. So we'll do that here. Const. Let's rename this one friend request relationships. Const friends request friend requests equals await mongo dot collection mongo user dot find. Wait, need this users. Oops. Dot find. And for this one, it's going to be an OR, and that OR is going to be our friend request relationships. We're going to map that, so our relationship put this to a underscore ID is equal to relationship dot requester. I think that's it. Probably need to surround these in brackets. That do it. Friend requests. Do like this. But let's make this a thing here quickly. So we're going to say constant mongo user to sendable user. Let's just replace friend here to user. There we go. And copy this. We can just kind of switch this in for the map now. There we go. From request, friend request dot map, Mongo user to sendable user. There we go. Okay, so we have our friends, our friend requests. We still need to have our findable friends on this response. Let's see if we can figure out how to do that now. So we have our friendship array, our friendship collection. So really, findable friends is It's going to be tough. I think I can figure it out where this isn't super efficient, but it should work. I think there's probably a better way to do it. But we could say we could find it, kind of do what I was doing before, where we could find everyone I'm not friends with, and then like all users I'm not friends with yet, and then we could check the Mongo friendships. And that will give us, of those friends, how many do we have like a pending request for? Let's just do that. I'm sure there's a better way of doing it, but let's run with that for now. So we got these things out. Let's say constant non-friends equals, and we'll start with just this. Boom. Find. And let's put to array so we don't forget that. Then inside of this find, we want to have it where, let's say, and, I think it's an and. Then a not, for, is this going to work? So I want to get all my non-friends here. So I know my friends, and I know, so not would be like ID. Okay, so this would have to be an array, and then we take our friends. Well, actually, no. We take our friends, and we map each friend to a not where ID is friend dot ID. Pretty sure this is terrible performance, and there's a much better way, but I think this will work. What's it complaining about here? Oh, it needs another close bracket. All right. So this will give us all of our non-friends. Right. And so then for each one of our non-friends, we want to further filter it by our friend request relationships that have not been accepted. So if we say constant, well, actually that's in our friend requests here, so we can kind of already use that. So we'll say constant findable friends is equal to our non-friends dot filter for each friend. We're going to say friend requests. Well, no. I don't think this will. What's our friend requests do? Friend request relationships. Yeah, I think we'll need to run a new query to get all of our pending friends. Okay, let's do that. So we'll say pending friends, and we'll go to pending friend IDs. Actually, we'll go to this, and let's drop that in. Friends. Did I call this friends? Let's look at the middleware here. For attach friends. Oh, friendships. That's a good call. Let's grab that here. So we want to find everything where there's an or. So this would be an or, and will it have requestee is user ID, or the request store is user.id. Right. Dot to array. Oh, is this not async? How did we get this far without finding that? Okay. Anyway, so there's our pending friend IDs, pending, let's just say pending friendships. We'll get this to work, I promise. And then, so we have there our pending friendships. So this will give us an array of all the pending friendships, and we'll say constant pending friend IDs. So this is equal to our pending friendships dot map, because we're going to want to turn it to for each friendship in here. We're going to want to map it over so that the well, it's going to be friendship dot requestee is equal to user dot ID. Then this will map to the friendship dot request store. Otherwise, it'll be the friendship dot requestee. Right. So now this should give us an array of object IDs. Perfect. And we're just going to want to declare our findable friends, constant findable friends, is equal to all of our non-friends, but filter it out for whatever user this is, so that the user dot ID pending friend IDs dot includes. So we want only ones that it doesn't include. I think that makes sense. And then we'll just do the same thing we did up here, where we'll just map that to a sendable user. Let's see about that. Okay, almost. We're almost there. Let's see. Need to map. This needs to be our findable friends. Let's go back to the service. So we're going to go to our friend service. We're going to update this body, findable friends, and friend requests is a user array, and so that should be returned. Perfect. Now let's adjust our action. If I go to user.actions, we can add that on here. Friend requests is a user array. There we go. And then I almost want to. So we're going to have to change the reducer around a little bit as well. Let's take a look at that. Our user reducer. Findable friends, and then we'll also have our friend requests. But first, let's go to our users adapter. What's going on with this? Okay, so we have our friend IDs. This is not what we want. I think we want to say this is just our findable friends. Findable friend IDs. Then we'll want to have our friend request IDs, and then just friend IDs. All of these are dictionaries of Booleans, so we can just get nice and quick on them. Okay, there we go. We're going to need to update our reducer here now as well. So but we won't need to store any falses. So I think what we'll do is, so we'll say friend IDs is equal to, so this is really just friends dot reduce. So we're going to reduce this down to an object. So accumulator plus our recent friend, we're going to return ACK, and we're going to say ACK friend friend dot ID equals true. There we go. I think that's right. So return friend IDs here. I think this is missing because we're not returning yet the right thing. Yeah. Okay. We're just going to do the same exact thing here. But here for friend IDs, this will be findable friend IDs. This is going to be findable friends.reduce. Let's just change this to user so it's not confusing. Then for this one, this is going to be friend request IDs. This will be friend requests. Typing friend so much it's starting to look wrong. Have y'all ever had that? Or you type something so much it just seems wrong after you keep typing it? So there's our friends request IDs. We're really just going to want to add this here now. Let's concat this cat with our friend requests, and then we'll have our friend IDs, we'll have our findable friend IDs, and we'll have our friend request IDs. There we go. All right, now we're going to have to change our selector a little bit, but it should be easier now. So, excuse me. Select friends. So we're going to filter out so it's not the user still. That's still good. And we'll say filter friends. Okay. And then for findable friends, it's the same thing, but we'll double bang here. We'll say findable. What did I say? Oh, okay. Select friend IDs. Let's just copy this one. We're going to make two other copies of this. One for findable friends and one for friend requests. Select findable friends. And findable friend IDs. In this one, we'll say select friend request IDs to friend request IDs, like so. Cool. So for findable friends, we're going to want to switch out this selector for the findable friends selector, like that. Findable friend IDs and findable friend IDs, like so. So we're going to filter out the user, and we're going to filter it out so it's only users that are in that findable friends list. And then we're going to make one more version of this. So we'll need it soon. Select friend request IDs. So we have all users, our logged in user, and we want to find select friend request IDs. Wait. Yeah, there we go. Findable friends. I mean, this would work, but let's just change it so it's not confusing. Friend request IDs. There we go. Okay. Now let's see. Inside the initial state, we'll need to have findable friend IDs. It's an empty dictionary, and our friend request IDs is another actually empty dictionary. There we go. Let's run the end-to-end test again and see where we're at. I think we should be able to see our user now. Maybe I'm wrong. No. Still not getting that back. Let's see why that is. Let me open up just a larger window here. Pull it in here. Oh, more spam in chat. Let me go ban that person. There we go, banned. All right, so we want to go to localhost. Let's just poke around and see what's going on. So we're going to go test username. Password was test password. It logged us in. Let's see what's coming back. If we inspect and go to the network tab, we'll get in a lot of errors. What's going on with the errors? Oh, unauthorized auth user. That's odd. Redux. Let me just hit refresh. What's going to happen here? Okay. There we go. Let's take a look at the network. If we look at our friends, did this fail? We got our, let's close this. Our friends, okay, our friends is still pending, so that's not right. Could be something with my brilliant, Mongo query is off. I kind of expect that. Let's see. Unknown top level operator not. Okay. Clearly I got my Mongo not strong. Let's figure that out. Let's just Google Mongo JS driver not query. Where to find? Is there anything about not here? Do they have anything with like and? Oh, maybe this is it. That's probably what I want. Unwanted matches. I'm just going to see Mongo $nin example. Some of the Mongo's documentation is pretty good. Okay, I think this is what we want. So I'm going to put this on the other monitor so I can see it at least. But let's go to the, we want to go to our friends, get friends. And I'm pretty sure this is just bogus, one of my non-friends. Yeah. Where did this non-friends come from? A non-friends query. I think we just need to add our nin in here. So we can say find, let's just comment this out. Find, so this would be underscore ID, and this would be its own object with a nin here, which would be friends dot map friend to the friends ID. Let's try that. Okay, API restarted. Let's just refresh and that should get us there. Friends is still pending. Let's see. Circular structure to JSON. Where did that happen? Should really debug this. JSON stringify. Okay, so something that's coming back. Oh, this would do it. It needs to be 2 arrays, so our friend requests are now, let's make sure this is all right. So this should be, yep, that looks right. That looks right. Looks right. Looks right. Okay, type checking at least now is passing. Let's see if that fixes what ails us. Refresh. Friends is still pending. Must be a non-empty array. Okay, we're getting closer. We just need this to be a non-empty array. It's probably this one right here. Let's just see if there's any others. That one's always has something. Okay, so we'll say for here dot length. There is length. We'll use friend request relationships. Otherwise, oh wait. We don't even want to run the query if we don't have any length. So let's say in here, let friend requests is a Mongo user array. We'll just say this will start out as an empty array. If our friend request relationships dot length, if we have some length to it, then we'll say our friend requests is equal to that. Close it off. All right, let's try that one more time. I think we'll get it this time. Yes, there we go. Let's preview. So we have one friend, we have one findable friend. Findable friend's not coming through yet though. But we are getting the right, oh no. We're not yet. This one should definitely not be here. That's okay. Let's at least get it to show up, and then we'll kind of stop for the day because I know we're already way over. So let's see if we can at least get it to show up. Let's take a look. What's going on with the console? Not add property. Blah. Object is not extensible. Okay. I think that's probably our strict immutability checks on our reducer. Let's see. Is there something about our reducer that's not coming through? Is there any? I don't think so. Let's see what's actually going on in Redux. Get friends succeeded. So because friends succeeded should have updated our state. So we should see all of our users in the entities and then some friend IDs, some findable friend IDs, and some friend request IDs. But now we're getting nothing. I think it's because of this error. Why would that be? On friend succeeded, so it's somewhere in here. So we'd return does concat, what does concat do? Combines two or more. Does that change? Let's go, we have to go down to the, let's go to MDM array concat. Thinking concat's mutating somehow. Concat. Let's just make sure. I thought concat would immutably make a new thing. Yeah, it does. So it's not that. It's not concat. The state. State ever get changed? No. Oh. I'm not having, I don't have a base case here, do I? That'll do it. There we go. Had some type errors. What is it complaining about? Are in users action. Let's cancel this and rerun it. So like I said, if we can get it so we can at least see, we'll probably see two users in there, but if we can at least see it so we see them, I'll call that a win for now. I'll have to check out those queries. I know there's I'm pretty sure there's bad query stuff happening. It's just my fault. That's okay. Waiting for everything to compile. No, it still doesn't like this. What's going on? User effects. Oh, okay. Friend requests. There we go. Let's open Cypress, bring it over here, move this over, bring Cypress back in. There you go. Let's hit that. saw a bunch of errors in the local serve. I imagine it'll have the same ones here. What was going on with this? To e tag. All right, that's fine. Let's see. Still not seeing the user there. If we inspect, do we see the same error in the DOM? Yeah, set attribute. Okay, let's go down. And, oh, I think I know what this is. I think I did this wrong. I was just noticing all kinds of places I'm doing things wrong. But if we could go find friends, yeah, this doesn't need this. There we go. Let's see. That looks like it succeeded. Let's try it again. Let's say test username, and this is going to be test password. Bunch of errors here. I'm gonna have to look into that later. I think I know what it is. It's just like I had an access token, but it somehow expired, and that's not good. So, okay. Oh, this worked. Somehow it worked. Here's some new test friends you could make. If I go to findable friends, somehow I think that filter we're filtering out our user. Yeah, that makes sense. I need to add that to the API real quick. Let's see if I can do that. To the API, we want to, yeah. So I'm coming. The user themselves is coming up in the non-friends, not in the pending friendships. So I'll need to add another filter, user, and user.id. Oh wait, is this user shadowed? Yeah, the user's definitely shadowed. Let's say friend here instead. Friend dot id dot to hex string. It's not equal to user dot to hex string. There we go. Let's try that. If we go here and we refresh, only see the one friend in there. And let's see. Yeah, we only have the one findable friend. Perfect. Alrighty. I think that did it. I think if we hit this, it's not going to do anything, obviously. We haven't wired any of that up yet. So we just had eyes way too big for our stomachs today because we're already over half an hour over time. But let's see how far we got. We added our test. That's done. So we can keep working on that test tomorrow. This whole first half is done. We had a find friends components. This is done-ish. API for find friends. We kind of just added this onto our get friends. Send available friends. So this is done, really, I'd argue. And this is done. There's still going to be a whole bunch more, though that's not in the scope that I originally put in. Like we're going to have a we're going to have to do something like where we have a new request to request a friend inside of our API. So we'll do like a post, and so we'll add something to the to that friendships collection, but with accepted as false. And then we'll have to go back and re-get our friends back. Maybe we can even just send the friends back. I don't know. As soon as we do that. But yeah, that'll be stuff we'll have to do, and then we'll have to look at the whole other user experience of the other user logging in and accepting it. So I think we're pretty well set up for that. Like most of the groundwork is in place. We'll just have some fun stuff to do it. Hey, Brandon. Yeah, man, I couldn't. I had eyes way too big for my stomach today. Let me show you where we got. Let's see. Let's just look at the Cypress stuff before we head out. Let's open. Here's this test thing. All right, so I had this end-to-end test I set up and try to figure it out. I got to the point right now where I can see some new friends I could make. I see them listed out correctly. I want to be able to like click on this and that'll send out an API request to make it so that we add that person in. But I'm pretty happy with the progress we made today. If I bring up the this is like just the local serve without Cypress. I like the NGRX stuff we have set up. So we have our users here. All of our users are in here. We have our friend IDs. We have our findable friends, so that's populating this list. And then we have our friend request IDs. So that would be once you click this, for the other user, they should show up in this list. So we can have like some way for them to confirm friendship. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. Thanks for showing up at the last piece, Brandon. Hope you have a good evening. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Bye now.